Right, board game time. Who's in? Spider-Man mug? Good. Square piece of cardboard? You down? Robot hand? Excellent. Now what should we play? What's that, Spider-Man mug? You only want to play a 4-player asymmetrical area control game based upon a long-running pre-existing franchise? One where you play as titanic, evil gods bent upon domination, destruction, and most importantly, victory points? But where are we going to find a game like that? Chaos in the Old World was first published back in 2009 by Fantasy Flight, and then republished in 2011. This is the nice sexy reprint. As you can see, the game is absolutely gorgeous with amazing production values. I mean, just look at these teeny little cuts, these teeny little banners. Ooh! It's based in Games Workshop's popular Warhammer Fantasy World, where you play as one of the 4 titanic chaos gods, each vying for control over the beautifully illustrated old world. You can play as the pestilent Nurgle, god of disease, who looks a little bit like a bubonic Buddha. The impossible to pronounce Tzeentch, the Birdman god thing of magic. The perverted and manipulative Slaanesh, Warhammer's god of S&M. Or finally, Khorne. Khorne, the bloodthirsty god of war and destruction, unbeatable in battle, whether in canned, popped, cobbed, or demon form. During your turn, you will follow 5 basic steps. You first play an old world card, which can change what certain tokens do on the board. For example, it can flood the world with peasants, or drop down righteous heroes, which will destroy demons in their wake. Next, you will draw new chaos cards, individual decks unique to each god that can increase your abilities, mess with other players, or even give an entire region the cold. Next, you'll spend your power points on summoning creatures or placing cards, one sequentially at a time until all the points for every player is spent. And finally, you'll fight for control of the regions, score for corruption and domination, and then reset all the tokens and the cards for the next turn. And that's it, rules-wise, basically. But the genius of Disorder in the Ancient Land comes not from its gorgeous presentation or its relatively simple rule set. Instead, it comes from an integration of theme, balance, and choice that elevates it just that bit above every other area control game that I've ever played. And this is due to the balance of each of the asymmetrical gods, and most importantly, how to actually win the game. Each god has a different focus and gets to move their victory dial depending on what they do each turn. Khorne gets to move up once if they win a fight, and twice if they win more fights than others. Nurgle moves if they place more corruption tokens on populated places, and Slaanesh and Tzeentch get points for corrupting areas with nobles or magic tokens, which are each randomized at the start of the game. This makes for an incredibly tight playing space, where everyone can see what everyone else needs to win, which makes it incredibly easy to see your options. Do I put down a cultist here so that I can get corruption tokens for domination? Like, oh no, but wait, if I do that, then that means Khorne's going to kill me, so that'll give hit points. So no, wait, I can't put that down. So maybe I put down a card, because that's going to lower its resistance, so that'll be great for me. But, oh no, wait, but if I put down the card, then I can put a figure, and then it's 3 turns to come back around, so I won't be able to put... But then, if I don't put a card and I put a dude down, they might put a card down. There's only 2 spaces for cards, and one of Khorne's cards means that no other spaces can be used, so... Wait, but then I will put the... Every choice is engaging, and you're as invested in other people's turns as your own, as it might mess heavily with your plans. It's full of strategy, but it is incredibly reactionary because of the limited space, which only becomes more limited over time as you ruin regions, creating a claustrophobic tension as you're all forced together, snatching what points you can whilst trying to deny them to others, like a mum in Debenhams on Black Friday. It's not perfect, though. I mean, there is the upgrade cards. They're okay, just some are much, much better than others, And after you played a couple of times, you know the route you're going to go through with it. The other thing is, it says 2 to 4 players on the box. This is not a 2 to 4 player game. This is a 4-player game. We've tried it with 2, we've tried it with 3. The game is much too open. There is much less antagonism. It isn't well balanced. For 4 people, though, one of the most perfectly balanced game I've had. Saying that, you need familiarity with this game to get the most out of it. We had to play 3-4 times with the same people to get properly enjoyable games out of it. First time we played, Korn ran away with it. Second time we played, Nurgle ran away with it. After you play a few times, you really learn kind of how it works and learn how to play against the other characters as much as play your character. But if you're willing to suffer through those truly very small problems, you will find an area control game like no other, which is focused on the domination, on the antagonism, and really, if you have the money, it is out of print, unfortunately, but if you have the money, you have the opportunity, and you like area control games, then really, buying Chaos in the Old World is a no-brainer. Just like you. Hey, Mug.